Hey guys, welcome back or welcome for the first time, whatever the case may be. Either way, I'm glad to have you here today. I am going to be sharing the first of three small businesses that I have recently purchased from. They are all in the sort of candle wax family of businesses, and they all sort of specialize in Halloween scents. So after I wrapped up my Kringle candle reviews, for those who have been following me here, I did all of the Kringle candle Halloween launch part 1 reviews here on this channel. And after that, I said, let's try to focus a little bit on some of the smaller guys out there, some of the smaller businesses that also do a really great job with Halloween and maybe don't get as much attention as some of the bigger companies. So I chose 3. There are certainly more out there, and it was really hard to narrow it down to 3, but I picked 3, one that I've been following forever and just meaning to purchase from, a couple that really caught my eye this year. So if you guys end up liking this sort of thing, perhaps I can do more in the future, but I wanted to start with this as just my way of kind of throwing some support to the little guys out there. So we are going to be kicking things off with the first small business, Spooky Soul Candle Company. All right, so before I show you guys what I ordered, I'll just give you a little bit of information on the company itself, which I will have all of this in the description of this video for you guys to look up and reference. I'll have the link to their Etsy shop, Instagram. I think that's the only social media I've seen them on, but I will have all of that in the description. So if you missed something here, or if I forget something, check the description, it should be in there. But Spooky Soul Candle Co. I have been following on Instagram for I think a couple years now, and I believe they were actually under a different name when I started following them. Their company opened in 2022, and I think about a year ago they changed to Spooky Soul, and I think that's a much better fit. I really like the name, and it really fits like their overall aesthetic and their vibe. So really cool, obviously focusing on Halloween type scents, and they really kind of nailed it, I think, with packaging and scents. So the owner, Stephanie, she was really kind. I had to message her because I ordered 2 candles, and then I think about a day or 2 later, she advertised something else that I wanted to add to my order. So I sent her a message and said, hey, can you hold my package until the end of the week when these other things are available? I want to add one on. And she said, no problem. Added it to my order, combined the shipping, and really sweet, really helpful. So nothing but good things to say about this company so far. They're based out of California. So these candles had a long way to go. I am over on the East Coast in New England, so they made the trip in one piece with no damage. It was packaged really well, and really the packaging was very fun. I'm going to try to put some pictures in here. I didn't get to video this because my kids were diving into this box, but when I opened the box, there was all little things on side. There was a thank you note, some stickers, little fake spiders, and confetti, and my kids just loved it. Little Halloween mochis, those little squishy toys that they love, and everybody was just diving into this box. So it was like a whole experience opening this package, and super fun. And that's something that, you know, as a customer, I don't expect that from small businesses, the little extras that a lot of them throw in, but it certainly does add to the experience. And I always appreciate it when they do stuff like that. Because they don't have to. It's an extra expense for them, but it does make an impression. So sometimes it's the little things that count, but very well packaged, a big box. I saved some of it here. There was all packing peanuts, but everything was wrapped up. Little stickers on here. Everything's totally bubble wrapped, and it was a large box for a small order. So it had a lot of room so that things didn't clink around. There was nothing that broke or, even came close. So really appreciate the care she took with packaging. And yeah, so let's get into what I actually ordered. All right, so I mentioned I ordered 2 3 wicks and then another candle, which is a single wick in kind of a special jar. We'll talk about the 3 wicks first, and I will, before I get into like the details about this actual scent itself, I'm just going to show you a little bit about the packaging here and what to expect with their actual 3 wick candles, which I think is their primary product on their website. I really haven't seen wax melts unless I've missed them, but mostly I see these sort of 3 wick jars, and then every once in a while I think a specialty jar like the other thing that I ordered. But this is like the standard sort of size 3 wick. You can see the wax is white. It's actually a blend of soy and coconut wax, which The coconut wax, I believe, gives this sort of an impressive burn time. If you look, she's even got like a nice little label on here on the bottom with her own branding here, Candle Care, and the website and everything. But it gives you the listing of 17 ounces and a burn time of up to 90 hours, which I believe on her Etsy shop, it even says 100 hours. So I'm not sure which one it is. I want to lean towards 90, but I think it's the coconut wax in this blend that makes it burn a little bit slower. I think coconut wax, I believe, has a lower melting point. So that's probably why you're going to see such a difference in this versus like your standard either parasoy blend or soy wax candle in a 3-wick size. So for me, if it doesn't last up to 90 hours, I'm not going to be mad at it. As long as it burns evenly and gives like a decent throw off, I will be happy with that. Happy to see 3 wicks. I'm hoping that that will help it handle the space in my home a little bit better than some of the smaller batch candles out there. A lot of them are single wicks, small jars. So for me, I think hopefully this will do okay. But if not, I do have some projects to do up in my bedroom this year. So I think I will move them up there and burn them during the day when I'm doing those projects if it's not holding up in my downstairs. But hopefully it will. And the glass is nice. This one's like sort of a translucent sort of brown color there, if you can see. The other one I ordered is a matte black, so a little bit different, but really cool. Nice black lid here. Trying to wipe the smudges. but that's what we're working with here. And I'm going to give you kind of a sort of closer up look at the label here, but there is going to be a glare, so just bear with me. But it's not a full wraparound, but it does wrap quite a ways. And you've got a nice like little C in here, sort of a like vintage style look, which was really appealing to me. You can see the Spooky Soul Candle Co. name on the side, but just the artwork here is really, really nice. I don't know where the artwork comes from, but yeah, I just love this look. And the it's kind of like a shiny label. It's nice. It looks like it might be able to come off to go in my scrapbook when I'm done, but otherwise I might just keep this jar because it's really cute. I love this sort of look. I am such a traditionalist when it comes to candles and fall and Halloween especially. I like just like this sort of traditional vintage Halloween sort of look. It's really appealing to me. So that is ultimately what drew me in the most with this company, plus the fact that they do offer a 3-wick version of their candles. So this scent, Ghost Stories, let's talk about this. Ghost Stories, they even have the notes here on the bottom. She lists bonfire embers and marshmallow. But if you look on her Etsy shop, the description, and I jotted it down here, actually has a little bit more information on the scent. She lists notes of maple, clove, smoke, moss, oak, roasted marshmallows, and melted sugar for notes. So for me, this is really nice. It's not super, super strong on cold, but it's strong enough that I can smell it. And if you were to rub your finger on the wax here and kind of just warm up the surface a little bit, you get a lot more of the scent kind of coming off of there. This is, a smoky marshmallow candle, but it's not marshmallow focused. I feel like the marshmallow is here, but it's more to the background. This is more focused on the sort of like outdoorsies, like the sitting around the campfire telling ghost stories kind of effect. I don't get much of the maple that she lists here. I get a little bit of the clove, but mostly I get the smoke and the moss and the oak. That's really, especially the moss, there's like a really earthy quality about this, almost like a little bit of a dirtiness to it, which is really cool for a spooky like Halloween outside candle. The marshmallow is not super sweet on cold here. It's more to the background. And the one thing I will say, I have burned a lot of candles in this sort of genre, and this smells different than everything else that I have burned. So I'm really excited to light this one up and see how it translates going from cold to warm. But on cold, it's really impressive. It's different than Marshmallow Fireside. It's different than the new Mummy Marshmallow from Kringle that I reviewed. It's different than Warm and Toasty from Kringle. So I'm looking forward to getting into this one. I like that it focuses a little bit on that sort of outdoors aspect, and it's a really nice scent. So this one, I'm probably going to save these for like prime October burning, but I will probably do a test run of this sooner. I've had these for about a week. I just haven't had a chance to dive into them yet. But that's Ghost Stories. And I believe when I checked right before I filmed this, it was still available on the website, but in low stock. So if you're curious, go check it out. She does give a little bit more information about the concept here in her description as well. But this one definitely caught my eye. It was the first one on my list. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I will report back. I'll either post something to my wall or maybe in a follow-up video talking about what I'm burning through the season. But that's Ghost Stories. All right, so the second one I ordered, this one just has the coolest packaging. I just love this one. This is October. I'll try to give you a better look again here. Same, similar style label here. These ones just have a little bit more vibrant colors and just really pops all the way to the side here. Spooky Soul on the side again. Just a really cool label. You can see this one is the matte glass, so you can't really see through it, but it's the matte black. Same style, 3-wick, same wax. And this one, also same lid. This one has notes of spiced pumpkin, candy corn, and graham crackers. But again, if you look in the full description on Etsy, she gives you a little bit more here with toasted pumpkin, autumnal spices, buttery candy corn, and honey graham crackers, which I'm cold. This is really, again, another unique scent that's different than anything that I have in my collection, which is really cool. I feel like you get that a lot more with some of these small businesses, like just the creativity. It just becomes something unlike anything that's on the regular market. The scent is really nice. Again, not super duper strong on cold, but when I rub my finger on here, it really starts to kind of pick up. The spiced pumpkin. So the spices, I feel like once I rub the wax, it comes out a little bit more, but it's just straight on cold. It's not very spicy, but that's okay. It's a nice sort of, they said toasted pumpkin. There's definitely like a slightly smoky quality about it. Just very, very slight. It's not like a heavily smoked candle, but there's just something about it that just feels warm and kind of slightly smoky. And then you get that candy note in there. The candy corn, I think, will probably come alive a little bit more as it's burning, but you do get that sort of candy corn quality to it here, especially with that honey graham cracker. Like the honey can kind of play into the candy corn as well, but the graham cracker quality, it does give it like a slightly bakery-ish undertone. So I'm really curious. I think this one is going to be one of those ones that you really have to burn to get the full effect of. But on cold, I'm really liking it, and I'm looking forward to burning this one. It does smell like kind of like all the things of the season, just in a little bit different way than the typical apple pumpkin. Like when you mix those graham crackers in there and everything, you're thinking s'mores and candy and all that. I really like it. The packaging is really what drew me in the most. I was going to probably buy this one regardless because I just love this label, but I really love the scent too. So that is October. Again, I think this one was also still available, but in limited stock. So definitely go check that out if you feel like you're interested. And then I have one more to show you guys. Now this one is sold out for the season, but I believe she is bringing the jars back next year. But this is a kind of a specialty one that she added in at the last minute for me. How cute is this? I just had to have it. It's even got the little handle here. Super cute. This is a single wick. And if you're wondering what that is, there was just like a little bubbling in the wax. Not a big deal. It'll burn fine. But same wax. And even as a single wick, like on cold, this is the strongest. The scent was listed as pumpkin buttercream, I believe, and caramel popcorn. Definitely a caramel popcorn component to it here. The full notes, I think she listed pumpkin, sweet vanilla, smooth caramel, salted butter, warm cinnamon, mapled pecans, popcorn, and orange peel. And I would say that's a lot of notes. Primarily what I get here is the caramel corn and like a sweet, creamy pumpkin note. This isn't really spicy to me. It's just a nice sort of sweet, just Halloween goodies kind of scent. I'm not a huge fan of popcorn, so I was a little bit nervous about that. But this one, this is good. There's just like that slight hint of that savory quality here. The butter is not too not too intensely salted. It says salted butter, but it's not coming across overly savory, and there's a lot of sweetness here to balance it out. So I'm really liking this one. And strongest on cold, even despite being so little here. So hopefully this does okay. And if not, it will just be cute to burn. This was priced at $16, and it is 12 ounces of wax compared to the 17 ounces in the 3 wicks. And the $16, I'll tell you what, guys, I've seen these offered from lots of other places, and usually they are a good bit more. I was looking at another company recently that offered, it looks like the same size jar, and theirs were priced, I think, at like $28. So for 16 bucks, I said, absolutely, throw it in. I've got to have it. So I'm really happy with this. And again, nothing but good things to say so far about this company, and the owner was so nice. So that's my first impressions of Spooky Soul Candle Co. And again, please go check them out over on Instagram and over on Etsy. See what they're offering. She's got so many other scents available right now beyond what I ordered. And there was a couple more I had my eye on. She actually stocked a couple more this week that I'm really like debating going back in for. But I try to keep it small so I can kind of spread my money around to a few different places. But if these perform decently, I will definitely be back. So yeah, that's my first thoughts here on Spooky Soul Candle Company. I love supporting small businesses when I can, and hopefully you guys try to do that as well. I know you will pay a little bit more, but you also get more, I think sometimes more quality to the product. Their attention to details. It's not a big assembly line. It's small batches poured one by one. You get that one-on-one from their customer support, like, because they are the customer support. They're pouring them and answering to customers and all that. They're packaging orders. So I don't mind paying a little bit more as long as I feel like I'm getting, you know, a good quality product for my money. And so far, so good here. So check them out. Check the description for the links. And thank you guys for watching. If you are interested in more small businesses, I have 2 more coming up that I've ordered from. So stay tuned for those. Again, both Halloween themed. So if you're a Halloween person that just found me recently, you're in the right place. And again, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day.